come on in because I have a topic that I want to talk about because a lot of people ask me and a lot of people, I don't know why, but people be wanting to know how I did it. So I'm going to just tell you guys. Hey guys, how are you doing? Okay, so today's topic, we're going to talk about if you have kids and you want to start over. Like just say you've been in your hometown all your life and you don't know how to just go about the first step of moving to another state. So I'm gonna just tell you what I did, and then I'll also just throw out some suggestions that'll help you. So the first thing that I did was I left my kids with their dad. And I know some of you guys are like, "Oh, you're a bad parent," or "Oh, you just left your kids," but honestly, like I felt like that was me being a good mom because I didn't want them to struggle with me. I had no plan. I had nobody in Texas. I literally just jumped out on faith. So I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna let them just stay with their dad because for one, it takes a village to raise a child. I was not used to being a single mom with three kids. I was used to being a single mom with one child. So when we separated in 2017, for 5 years, I was just a single mom, And he's a great dad, he'll always get them. But it's a difference when you get kids like a few days and then you just have them full time. So I knew that I didn't know how it was going to work out, me moving to another state. So I just knew that if he could watch them for a short period of time or however long it takes, don't put a time on it because sometimes it can be disappointing. Just first talk to him. Make sure that's something that he's willing to do. And if he supports you and he sees what you're trying to do, go for it. So before I even decided to move to another state, I moved December of 2022. I was already like going through stuff. Like I felt like God just was forcing my hand to move. So from August, September, October, November, and December, the kids were already staying with their dad. So for 5 months, they were staying with him full time, and I was just getting them on the weekends or getting them when I could because I was going through something. So I just couldn't take care of them. And what you guys have to fail to realize that if a mother is not good in herself, she can't be good to her children. Like a mom has to first be good with herself in order to take care of her kids. So just remember that it takes a village to raise a child. Mind you, I don't have like support. Like I don't have like a lot of family support or help or financial support. So it's really just me doing everything by myself. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. So I knew when I got the job offer to move to Texas, mind you, I didn't know anybody in Texas. So, with all this stuff going on in the world, you just don't want to be bringing your kids around everybody, and I'm not even just saying little girls because it's a lot of boys getting assaulted too, like the world is just really, crazy right now. So that was my thing. Like I didn't want to just move to another state and just have my kids around strangers, like at least I know if they're with their dad, they're in a safe space. They're in a safe haven. I feel like a mother's gonna do what's best for their child, regardless of how much you miss the child or you know what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to go out here and have a better life for your kids. So to all my ladies and my moms who have small children and you want to move to another state and you don't know how to go about it, if you have the support to be able to leave your child with your mom or their dad or someone that you trust to take care of them for a few months while you move to that state and figure it out, I would recommend doing that. So I would recommend leaving them behind for, I wouldn't put a time frame on it. I would just say, hey, I'm gonna go out here and I'm just gonna figure it out. So then when you come out here, you can find a job. You can know what area is good to live in. You can learn about the traffic because I moved from a small town to a big city. So I moved from a population of 170,000 to now I'm in a population of 1,800,000. So Texas is, I'm in Dallas. It's literally like 12 to 15 times bigger than Birmingham. Like it's so big. So I would suggest just getting familiar with the area first that you want to move into. That way you'll kind of know like what school system you want to go to. You know what area you want to move in. How much things cost. That was another thing. Um, it's so expensive here. I'm coming from one of the poorest states in the United States, and I'm moving to the biggest state in the United States. So like price wise, it's so different from what I was used to. I was used to paying 750 rent. Now I'm paying 1,500 rent. Like so you're gonna just figure it out. I would look up resources, see if they have. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys this: do what you want to do. I've never had any resources but food stamps, and I don't even get those anymore. So to the women who know how to do it, kudos to you. I'm not one of those. But if you know how to get Section 8 and income-based apartments, go for it. That's the best thing I could tell you to go for it. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't need a 9 to 5, you already kind of got some money saved up, and I would still come out here for, a small time being without your kids to still fill it out, because if it's not a place you're familiar with, you don't want to bring your kids in that, because stuff does happen. And I'm not saying bad stuff happens, but I just feel like it's best to just leave them behind, come out here, get everything situated, get the house, get the apartment, get the job, get the resources, then bring your kids with you. That's just, I think, just what's best. And kids understand. Like if you have a good relationship with your kids and you talk to them, they understand what you're doing. So I remember around, let's see, I told you guys I moved December. So around April, May, I wanted to move back because I really had just missed my kids. I was like, oh, I don't think I could do this. Like I really miss them. And they told me not to move back. And it was so funny because I was talking to King and I was like, hey, King, I think I want to move back. And he was like, why? He was like, just stay in Texas. Like, and they love Texas. Like, it's so funny. So don't don't think that your kids are going to look at you like a bad parent or look at you like, oh, you just left us. Like, communicate with them, talk to them every day as much as you can, and just be honest with them. Like, kids are really smart and they know what's going on. Don't let people make you feel bad because you left them with their dad. It's their dad, like people always think like you guys made them together, like, so don't let people get in your head. Like, just be thankful that you have that support, because like with me and my kids dad, I always tell him like, I'm thankful that you stood up and you did this for me, because I talked to him before I made this decision. I was like, hey, look, I'm kind of already going through stuff. I got a job offer to move to Texas. um I'm thinking about going out there. Well, how do you feel about it? And, he was just like, of course he was trying to get me to stay. But when I just told him, I was like, well, I don't really have nothing to lose. Like I said, I was already going through stuff. I'm staying at my friend's house, my car. It was like God was just forcing my hand. My stuff was already in storage. I was trying to get an apartment in Alabama, but it just wasn't working out. So, I just had to be like, okay, God, I'm going to trust you and I'm going to jump. And that's what I did. Now I've been out here 14 months. But people just think that I just up and just moved to Texas. I really didn't, like when God has a plan for your life, you can't really stop it. And sometimes you have to just go for it. So that's why I'm putting this video out here, because I know it's a lot of moms who want to move to another state and just start over to have a better life for their children. Where I'm from, the crime rate is really high, and I don't want to be the mom crying on the news because my kid got shot, or they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, because a lot of innocent bystanders are getting killed because the crime scene is just so bad. Since I moved away, I didn't realize how bad Birmingham was because I lived in that. I didn't realize how poverty it was. Guys, you guys would laugh if you see the hoods in Dallas. Like, if you go to the hoods in Dallas and they show you their hood, like, it's so funny. Like, to me, I'm like, wow, like this is like their hoods look like Harrytown, Lorna Road and Hoover. Like, it's so crazy. Like, their hoods have Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Papados, and they say this is the hood, and like in Alabama, our hood, we might just have a Church's Chicken or a McDonald's, like, so it's just so different to see like different cultures, what they call the hood. So I didn't even realize that I was coming from such a poor state because that's all I knew. That's all I was familiar with. So to my single moms out there who, you want to have a better life for your child, you don't want your children to do or experience the same things that you went through, and you want to just step out on faith. For one, talk to the kid's father. If you can't talk to the kid's father, talk to your mom, anyone who you trust with your kids. Who you trust with your kids. Look up resources, income based apartments, Section 8, anything that can assist you. Um, Look for a job if that's what you're into, like a 9 to 5. Even if you are an entrepreneur, and just say like you do hair, you wouldn't have the clients that you have there. So, but whatever works best for you. Some people, they can just come here and can just get people like that just off their, if that's you, then go for it. But I would just secure like a temp job or just something just to have some money coming in because you're not familiar with this area, especially if you're moving somewhere where you don't know anyone like I did. Now, if you're moving somewhere and you have like a brother there or a cousin or someone that can help you and put you in, then you're good. But see, me, I had to kind of figure everything out on my own because I just jumped on faith to a state that I knew not one person. And just pray, like I said, just really have the gift of discernment. Like, follow your heart. Like, you don't have to call around and ask people, like, or tell people. Like, I didn't tell nobody. Like, I swear, like, when I moved to Texas, like, I didn't really tell a lot of people, and I didn't really announce it until like I think I was 3-4 months in. So I made sure because people pray on your downfall. So lately I've just been learning to just keep things to myself, but I'm gonna say that for another video. But if y'all thinking about moving to another state and you have children, just follow those things that I told you. I really think they're really helpful. I actually did it. I experienced it for myself, so I'm not giving you no advice that I didn't do for myself. And just trust God, and then after you talk to God, trust yourself. First, trust him, and then trust yourself, because you're not gonna never lead yourself to a wrong. And don't let people get in your ear because they're scared to move away and they've been in the same place. Just that's why I say don't even talk to nobody. Like, just talk to God about it, because people will really project their fears off on you because everyone's scared of the unknown, and they'll be so negative. Like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if you go out there and you do this? And what if you lose this because the rent's so high? How can you afford this? But what if I go out there and it does work out? And what if I go out there and I can afford the rent? And what if I go out there and it does change my life? Like, people are just so negative. So to my ladies, I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and it's going to be okay, and you got this, okay? So you guys, make sure to comment if you're one of the people that want to move to another state and you have kids. Leave the comment. I will write back, and we'll get through this together. I'm proud of you. Make sure to like the video and share the video so we can get it out there to more people, and I will see you guys in the next video.